about our training session, and I hope I am audible to all of you. So if somebody can confirm about that, whether I am audible to all of you or not, that will be better so that I can start in the today's training session. Okay, Mr. Indrajit, I think he wrote a good evening. Thank you. I think I am audible to all of you now. So let us discuss about more in detail about this training session. One thing I just want to inform you that when I will change the slide, there will be some delay, maybe 5 to 6 second delay, because I am using the interface for a YouTube training session. So don't worry about that. I will ensure that you will get everything understanding and thorough clear thought with respect to this concept, corrective and preventive action. That is the first concept, and second is the Poka-Yoke principle. Okay, so we will discuss in detail. So let us start without wasting time on our today's topic, which is a corrective and preventive action, specifically for the Poka-Yoke principle. Okay, so what we are going to discuss, again, I told you that I shared the slide, but wait for a couple of seconds so that the slide will be visible to all of you. Okay, so the slide will be visible to all of you. So the point here is, what I am showing here is a agenda, what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so this is a detailed agenda about today's training session, and what we are going to discuss is, we will discuss about the brief about this concept. Already we understand and discuss why it is required and all. Then there will be couple of slides about the know your trainer. So there will be some information about the trainer, why it is required, because most of the companies consider this training program as external training, and they prepare a GMP document as external training record. So for that they need a requirement, they have a requirement about the CV of the trainer. So that is the reason I am putting my couple of slides in the presentation itself, so that there will be CV in the video itself. Okay, so after that we will discuss about the training topic in detail. So what are the guideline requirements? So we will discuss about the UGMP, ISO guideline, ICH guideline, US FDA requirement, NVISA guideline. So we will discuss what is the expectation from the Capa, from a different guidelines. So that we will discuss. After this discussion and all, we will discuss some key FDA citations, that what FDA is expecting and what are the observations from FDA. There are a lot of observations from FDA, but I will be taking some small examples, maybe couple of examples I will discuss. After that, we will discuss in detail about the Capa terminology. So what is Capa, what is the corrective action, what is preventive actions and all, that we will discuss. Further, corrective actions versus preventive actions. So what is the exact differentiation between the corrective and preventive action, that we will discuss. Then we will focus on the Poka-Yoke concept. What is exact Poka-Yoke concept and what is its expectation, and how it works in a two stages. So basically Poka-Yoke works in a two stages. So what are the two stages, that we will discuss, and what are the what is the process of mistake proof action. Basically Poka-Yoke is used for mistake proof action. So what is the process for that mistake proof action, that we will discuss. What are the benefits of this technique, the Poka-Yoke technique, what is the benefit, that we will discuss about the Kapa. When we will implement Poka-Yoke, what are the benefits of this Poka-Yoke, that we will discuss. After that, I will share some examples about the Poka-Yoke. So some examples of the concepts are general, and followed by the key examples from the pharmaceuticals. So you will able to understand and correlate the thought and learning in your area or in the pharmaceutical domain. So that is what my main purpose of today's training session, and followed by the question and answer session. So during our discussion training, if you have any questions, I request to put in the comment section, chat box, so that after completion of our training session, I will go through all the questions. We are now connected online live. So whatever questions you have, you put in the chat box. After completion of the training session, I will go through each questions, and then we will discuss each question one by one, and I will try to answer your all questions. Okay, this is the brief, you can say the overview about the session. And as there are a couple of slides about the know your trainer. So again, I am sharing. My name is Hitendra Kumar Shah. I am a CGMP compliance consultant, trainer and auditor from NADH plus GXP compliance services. This is a brief about my CV. If you are interested, you can pause it and you can go through the CV, but I am sharing it for your record, and as a copy of the training session is also recorded, so please don't worry about that. Okay, so there are some information about me, about how much of experience I am having. More than 23 years of experience in pharma. I faced lot of audit till dates, and to be very frank, I am telling you that since last 13 years I am in the auditing role, and till date I have audited more than 500 manufacturing sites. This is the brief about my CV. These are some companies where I work. I started my career with Sun Pharma, then I work in a Blue Cross Laboratories, I work in Alembic Pharma, I was a compliance head in Zydus Cadila, I work in AstraZeneca, Sanofi, and I work in a Mylan. I was a quality head in a US vitamins. So this is the brief about my previous work experience. I am not putting more time here so that we will be able to discuss in detail on the actual topic. So before starting this session, I just want to have some disclaimer. The disclaimer I am putting here because the whatever I am preparing this training session and everybody is attending this session, this is for the learning purpose of all the people. So I will be sharing some requirements, guideline requirements, some thoughts based on all the information I collected from the guidelines and from the literature and some search from the Google. Now, the point is, when you want to implement, my always request is to refer the current version of guideline, because this discussion will be recorded as a part of the training video in the YouTube. So after this session also, if you have any question, again you can go through the same link. It will be recorded, available in the YouTube. So it will be for long period available in the YouTube. So the point is, if you are interested, to implement the things, then my suggestion is to follow the current guideline requirement. So consider this as a learning purpose or the training purpose to you all people. Okay, this is just a brief disclaimer, so that you should not anybody should not directly go and implement the things. So they need to refer the current guideline. So that is what a disclaimer I just want to put here. With this, let us start our today's topic, an actual discussion on corrective and preventive actions with respect to the Poka-Yoke, right? And the first point of this is regulatory requirements. So what are the regulatory requirements? So this regulatory requirement is from the EU GMP, okay, European GMP. So here I just want to highlight the requirement in a more precisely with respect to the mentioned in the red. Appropriately trained and experienced personnel should be responsible for managing complaint and quality defect investigations, for deciding the measures to be taken to manage any potential risk presented by these issues, including recalls. This is what the requirement. So now what I want to inform you here, I want to share this thought. The reason is, many people, what they have, they just have a training record. They just have a training record on the SOP, training record on the investigations, training record on the corrective and preventive actions and all. But here you can understand the point is, appropriately trained and experienced person should be responsible for managing complaint and quality defect investigations, and for deciding the measures to be taken. That means corrective actions, right? Actions, right? So here the expectation is the people should be trained appropriately. What does it mean? It means that only SOP training is not enough. The people should undergo a thorough training with respect to the investigations and also thorough training with respect to the actions, okay, corrective actions and potential risk to mitigate the potential risk. Potential risk mitigation means preventive action again. So this is what the expectation. So please understand, I put this in red because most of the company are getting this observation that the people involved in the investigation and corrective actions are not appropriately trained. This type of observations are received for many companies. The reason is they have the procedure of training the people on a traditional basis. They just train through the SOP. Of course, they need to be trained on the SOP, but they need to be trained or equipped in the detailed understanding about the expectation. Okay, this is what the thing I just want to share with you all the people. Next requirement what I am sharing is, okay, from UGMP only. Okay, so please bear with me because some 10 seconds will be required to display the slide in your area, okay, at your end. So the requirement here is yeah, I think now slide is visible to all of you. Where human error is suspected or identified as the cause, this should be justified having taken care to ensure that process, procedural or system based errors or problems have not been overlooked. So when we put a focus on human error, that human error as a root cause, then we have to first nullify that there is no any problem with respect to the process, procedure and system, everything, right? The next point is important. Appropriate corrective actions and or preventive actions should be identified and taken in response to investigations. Appropriate corrective and or. So many people feel, that when they are suggesting some action, so see, investigation is completed and many people they write corrective actions and preventive actions separately. I suggest that put corrective and preventive action in a one heading. The reason is you need not differentiate it that this is a corrective action, this is a preventive action and all. Second thing, here the main point is it is not always expected to have a preventive actions. That is the reason here it is mentioned corrective and oblique or. Please understand the guideline. This is a guideline statement. This is not my words. Please understand this. And or should be identified. Okay. And the effectiveness when we are discussing about the Kapa, it should be based on the QRM principle. Okay. Hope you are getting point. These are the simple guideline expectation, but many people confuse because they put it differently. The corrective actions and preventive actions they put differently. And then what happened when they put it differently? Then they need to think what preventive action I need to suggest. My dear friend, it is not always it is required. And or that is what's mentioned in the guideline. Okay. Hope it is clear to all of you. Now let us discuss about the FDA requirement. FDA, when I am discussing the terminology about FDA, it is a US FDA. So here you can go through the all requirements. Okay. The evaluation, I will just go in the last part. Okay. The evaluation of non-conformity shall include a determination of a need for investigation and notification of the persons or organizations responsible for the non-conformance. The evaluation of an investigation shall be documented. So the point is when you are evaluating all the things, it should be documented, right? That is what the expectation, and you are documenting the things, but you may not documenting the all evaluations and investigations approaches. So that you need to put a thought process when you are discussing about the investigations. Okay. The next point what I want to share, is with respect to the ISO guideline. ISO guideline or other all guidelines, EU USFD all expects that whatever any non-conformity or the problem or any market complaint or investigations, you need to investigate in detail, and you need to identify the root cause, and you need to take a kappa. Okay. So here also in ISO 9001 2000 section I have given 8.3. There also it is requirement is the same, by taking actions to eliminate the detected non-conformity. Okay, so you need to take the actions to eliminate the detected non-conformity. Hope you got my point. I am just sharing a thought. Okay, don't bother about this requirements and all. Nobody will ask you. I am just discussing these regulatory requirements to all of you to make you aware that different guidelines, all the different guidelines expects that we need to take the corrective and preventive action. That's it. That's it. That's only I want to share with you with the reference to the different guidelines. Okay. So don't worry about that some terminologies and all. Don't get confused. It is very simple topic, and I am trying to make you aware or understand in a more detailed way. So don't worry about that. Okay. So this is the NVISA requirement. So you can see here NVISA requirement, all complaints and other information related to the product with possible deviations in quality should be carefully investigated and recorded in accordance with the written procedure. And below they are writing that see sole paragraph, preventive and corrective actions should be taken when quality deviation is proved. So when you come to know that it is a quality related deviation, then you need to take a corrective and preventive action. This is the NVISA requirement. So my point is that all the guidelines expects that you need to implement the corrective and preventive actions. So these are all the examples I have taken from different guidelines. And now let us discuss about some FDA citations. Okay. So here you can go through these FDA citations. Here also it is mentioned that the corrective actions are not implemented. You can go through this requirement. So the requirement is very clear, that you have not implemented the corrective and preventive actions. So that is what I am here to discuss with you, that why we are here to discuss this topic. Correct? Hope the slide is visible to all of you. Content is also visible. Employees, you can see here maybe, last two lines you can see. The following are few examples of OS results that have occurred due to the lack of training or lack of Kappa effectiveness. Okay, so like that you will come to know that there are many FDA citations. I will share the another FDA citation. Okay, couple of seconds you need to wait. Okay, so that you will come to know. Just a minute, let me see whether you yeah, now slide is visible to all of you. Thorough and timely root cause evaluations with appropriate and timely corrective actions have not been performed for repeated findings of so and so. I am not discussing about the the what exact observations and all, but the point here is thorough and timely root cause evaluation with appropriate and timely corrective actions have not been performed. That is what my point of discussion, that we need to take corrective actions, and that also timely. This time period is very very important. Okay. So if you see most of the warning letter, I have prepared only one slide for this. What is displayed here, in warning letter, most of the warning letter, when there are, they FDA come to know that same observation was identified in the previous audit. So what they do when they are writing the observation, they write this statement. Which statement they are writing? They are writing, just a minute, slide will be visible to you maybe in a some time. Why slide is not changing? Yeah, I think now slide not a change. I think in your area. Just a minute. Yeah, now slide is changed. So only one sentence I write here in the slide. And what is the sentence? This is a repeat observation. So when any observation is found repeated, so in the inspector when inspecting and come to know that the same observation was identified during the last audit, and the same observation we are finding today during the current inspection, then FDA will simply write that this is a repeat observation, and that is the very serious. I am really supporting to so many pharma companies for GMP remediation, so that they whatever they have the any observations and all adverse observations from the FDA or EU or other regulatory agencies, we help them to remediate, and we help up to the end unless and until they get the EIR copy. We support the companies. The reason, why I am telling that, we focus on actual where is the problem in the organization. That is what the point. Now here the main point is, if any observation is given and FDA is writing this is a repeat observation, it really indicates that the investigation is not thorough, identified reason is not given correctly, root cause is not given correctly, actions whatever are suggested, corrective actions, preventive actions, are not enough, or corrective actions are implemented but not within the timeline, and due to that there are so many repeat observations, and if any actions are implemented, it is not communicated to all of the people, and due to that the most of the observations are repeat. So this is considered as a very serious thing. That is just, I just want to share you all the people. Okay, so these are some FDA, the observations I just want to. There are a lot of observations are there. So without diverting our discussion, our main interest is to understand about the Kappa and the Poka-Yoke, right? So what is meant by Kappa? Kappa means corrective action, preventive action. Very good, fine. Definition we need to understand in a better way, huh? Corrective action means what? Action to eliminate the cause of detected non-conformity or other undesirable situation. So whatever actions we take to eliminate the cause of a detected non-conformity is called a corrective action. What does it mean? It means that when we are taking any action to avoid its recurrence, to avoid the recurrence of the problem, it is a corrective action. That means what? One time the problem happened, you have investigated it. After investigation, you identified the root cause, then you implemented some actions, and after that action, you want to avoid the same problem in future. That is the corrective action. Preventive action is something different. Preventive action is what? Actions to eliminate the cause of potential non-conformity. Potential. What does it mean? It means that this problem is not happened today. This problem is not happen yet here. And same, and still the problem should not happen in future. For that purpose, we take the preventive action. That means what? Preventive action is taken to avoid its occurrence. Means it is not happen once also, and it should not happen also. While corrective action is, it happened today, but we want to avoid its recurrence. That action is called corrective action. Again I am telling. And preventive action is what? Action is taken to eliminate the cause of potential non-conformity. Means what? The problem is not happened yet, problem is not happened yet. There is not a single time you face the problem till you are taking the action, so that you are in future you are free from that particular problem. That whatever actions you are taking to remove the potential non-conformity, that is the preventive action. I think it is clear. So, but still I write confused. If you have confusion, you confirm. You can just check me. I will share you. You can put some questions. No problem. So again, there will be kappa effectiveness. That concept you are all aware, right? So we need to implement the kappa effectiveness also. That is the guideline requirement, right? So if you are confused, then I have given a simple example, so that your slide I have prepared a simple slide to make you aware about the what is the corrective action and what is preventive action. Simple slide is there, so that I will discuss with you. Okay. So what I told, corrective action means what? Action means problem happened today, we have implemented the action to avoid this problem recurrence, to avoid the problem in future again, right? So once it is happened, but we want to avoid recurrence, correct? We want to avoid the recurrence of the same problem. For that purpose, whatever actions we take it is called the corrective action. And preventive action means what? Problem is not happened today, okay? Problem not happened till date, but it should not happen in future also. That is called the preventive action. So for that, I have prepared one simple slide. Just a minute, some maybe it is delay. I don't know today why it is delay. Yeah, now see, it's simple slide I have mentioned here. So on the top you can see the corrective actions and below is the preventive action. Simple thing, you identify the root cause for any problem, okay, you implement the corrective action, so that there will be the quality improvement in your quality, correct? This is the corrective action. Corrective action means what? You identify the root cause, when there will be root cause, when there will be the problem, correct? So that way. And in case of preventive action is what? Potential cause. Means potential cause means what? The cause you feel that can lead to the problem in future, that is called potential cause. If you take the action on the potential cause, so that you can protect the organization from potential problem, and both will be helpful for the quality improvement. How? In simple language, corrective action is a reactive approach, while preventive action is the proactive approach. Simple language. Okay, hope you understood in a better way. Okay, so this is just, I just want to tell you about the corrective and preventive action. And after that, I want to share the meaning of the Poka-Yoke. And before that, I just want to inform you that how you can develop the essential pieces of a Kapa. So the first rule to develop the Kapa or develop the essential pieces of Kapa is no finger pointing. Very clear. There should not be any finger pointing. Very clear point. Most of the problem when happens, that always there will be finger pointing, that this is the problem caused by you, this is the problem caused by this person. So when we are designing the Kappa, always remember that there should not be the finger pointing, because please understand that if there are operators and machines, there will be possibility that they will make a mistake, there will be error from machines and operators always. So you consider this, they are not a god, there will be always possibility of a error. So don't be under the discussion about the fingerprinting, finger pointing, that no, this operator make the mistake, or this machine make the mistake, or this person make the mistake. Don't do the finger pointing, This is the very important thing. When we start pointing the fingers, then we may not able to develop the essential pieces of a kappa plan, and our kappa or actions will be diverted. Very simple thing. So please keep in your mind that operators and machines will sometime make the mistake, and you have to rectify that. That's it. Find the ways to keep the errors from becoming the defects. So when you identify some errors, you have to find that how these errors cannot lead to get the defect generation. That you need to think when you are thinking about the kappa. Okay. So this is what I just want to share about the kappa. And now, I will touch upon about the uh, you know uh, Poka-Yoke. So what is mean by Poka-Yoke and what is that I will discuss with you. So Poka-Yoke is basically the method that uses some sensors or other devices, okay, for so that the errors can be catch. You are getting my point? Poka-Yoke means what? It is basically the method where you can use some automations, you can use some sensors or any devices, not always the automation, any devices, for catching the errors that may pass by the operators or assemblers. Identifying the defect immediately, and then you need to have a quick feedback for corrective action. So when you identify the problem, immediately you need to take the action. So this is the meaning of a Poka-Yoke. Okay, this is the Japanese terminology. But before going in the detail about the Poka-Yoke, what is exactly expectation behind the Poka-Yoke, that I was I try to explain you here. Okay, hope you got my point what I am explaining you. So this is what the Poka-Yoke meaning of this. The slide is visible to all of you. Okay, so now just some theory aspect about the Poka-Yoke before going in a more discussion about and understanding about the Poka-Yoke. Okay, so uh, there will be again 5-10 seconds will be there to display the slide. So I am just telling some information about the Poka-Yoke. It is basically the Japanese terminology, and the simple meaning of Poka-Yoke is mistake proof. Mistake proof in Hindi, I use the my peculiar wording. What I use, the peculiar wording is mistake proofing is nothing but गलती से भी गलती ना हो, means by mistake also mistake should not happen, or by mistake also error should not happen. That is the purpose of Poka-Yoke. It is, the meaning is mistake proof. So whatever actions we are implementing, that action should be mistake proof. That is what the thing. Okay, the concept was initiated in Japan during the 1960s by this the Mr. Shingo. He was the the industrial engineer in the company Toyota, well known company. So he was working there, and he invented this uh, concept there. Okay, so simple thing I am just sharing you, that mistake proofing is what, because when you are developing the essential pieces of kappa, I don't use the word only kappa as a one activity. I use the word of kappa as a essential pieces. There are a lot of different pieces of kappa basically when we are discussing about the kappa, and many companies lack that only. They consider that kappa is kappa, we need to implement kappa means only some activity, one activity. No, kappa is not a one. Basically there one, under one kappa there will be lot of different pieces of kappa will be there, and due to that lack of thought only, many companies, they got the warning letters or repeat observations from the inspectors, because in most of the warning letter it is specified that your response is inadequate, because they don't consider the all the pieces of kappa when they give the compliance. That is what the thing. So Let us discuss about the more details about this topic. Okay. So you got some information about this, and the main important what I was telling, it was the mistake proof activity, correct? Mistake proof kappa. So any kind of improved activity, action or modifications carried out to avoid defect generation and happening of any error. So first is what? Defect generation, and then the error should not happen. That is called basically, we can consider this. So there will be lot of error can happen. Error can happen by the during the operation, or maybe some operation steps may skip, or the devices may not be accurate, or there will be some more variation, or you can say the excessive variation in the input materials or inputs, or excess variation in the process. So procedure may not also rugged or robust, so there may be excessive variation, or so many errors, possibility of errors are there in the routine operation. So the Poka-Yoke expects that there is a possibility of error, but how you can take the actions so that whatever the errors are there, that will be the that will not lead to the defect, that will not be carry forward. Okay, so there will be control. Basically by mistake there will be error, so you have to think that there will be the error, there will be possibility of error, but it will not carry forward. That is what we need to put a thought process. Okay, so this is what the expectation behind this thing. So how you can perform the follow this Poka-Yoke principle. So basically there are two steps when you want to implement the Poka-Yoke. Two steps are there. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, just a minute. So first is its method, and second is the function, regulatory function. So these two are the steps. I'm just waiting, that so that the slide will be visible to you, so that you should not get confused. This is very, some key thing I want to explain you. So that is the reason I'm just waiting here. So yeah, so there are two steps: setting the method and the regulatory function. So under the setting the method, there are three types basically. How you can set the method, three aspects. And under regulatory function there are two aspects. One is the preventive method and the second is the detection method. And setting, there are three aspects. Okay, this only I want to share you. This I am going to discuss in detail, don't worry about that. Only I was waiting to display the slide so you can go through that. That's it. So there is a contact method, then a fixed method, and this one method. Okay, so I am discussing in detail in the next slide, don't worry that. So yeah, basically here it is discussed in detail. You can see here three steps are there, right? Okay, so the first step is a contact method, second is a fixed value, third is a motion step. What exactly the interpretation of this, just a minute, I'm discussing. The slide will be visible maybe in next 10 seconds, but I'm discussing with you, don't worry about that. So if any problem happens, suppose if there is a problem, so contact method means what? It identifies the product defect by testing the product shape, size, color, or other physical attributes. So whatever the products is getting generated, by following this contact method, you can verify the defect by checking the morphology of the product. size, shape, color, or other physical properties, so that uh, you know so that you will come to know if there is any problem or defect or not. Okay, that is called a uh, contact method. I will give example so that you will understand in better way. Okay, second is a fixed value. Fixed value means what? Set value. Set value, it alerts the operator if a certain number of movements are not made. Means there are some set values will be there in the each machine. If that values, or as per that values, if there is no any functioning, then it should alert the operator that some problem is there. Okay, and third is the motion step. It determines whether the prescribed steps of the process have been followed or not. So third is what? Motion steps. So the person will able verify whether the all the steps are followed or not. So these are the three methods by which you can identify the error in basically the in your production. This is example for the production. So this is where this is given by the Mr. Shingo for the Poka-Yoke. Now I will give the simple example so that you will understand in a better way. Okay. I don't know, today there is a lot of time is taken to getting, I think, slide visible to you, all of you. So I will give an example so that you will understand in a better way. Okay, you have a tablet packing machine. Okay, so all tablets, yeah, slide is visible to all of you now. So you can see the contact method, fixed value, and motion step. So I am giving you the example from this. You simultaneously you can read this content. Okay, so suppose now you have the uh, packaging machine, tablet packaging machine. Okay, and on that packaging machine you have the camera system. So what happened if there is any so what happened if there is any problem in the product, you will able to identify by the contact method. Contact method means what? The camera will able to detect the defect by testing the product shape and all. So you will say, you will tell me, you will ask me the question that how the camera is testing. So basically what happened, the good tablets are programmed or feed to the camera, and then with respect to that, camera is verifying whether the all tablets on the blister packets are blister pockets are similar to these teach values or not. So that way camera is going to test it. So this method is called a contact method. Second is what? Fixed value. So what happened when you are setting the camera, you need to set up the the camera settings. Lot of settings will be there with respect to the resolutions and all. So many setup parameters are there. So what happened if there are, suppose, if when the operator is performing the challenge test, and if come to know that wrong blister is getting rejected during challenge test, that means what? Some certain number movements are not made in the system. So whether the system is following or not, that operator will come to know. So the point is, when that particular number is not followed, or simple example is, suppose the operator is performing the challenge test, and if during challenge test, suppose the operator is performing the empty pocket challenge test, so operator will pick up one tablet and make the blister empty. So what happened? Operator will get the alert in the screen that in particular area the tablet is missing. So this way it will alert the operator that some tablets are missing. So that way it is called the fixed value. And third is a motion step. Motion step is means what? When operator is following the things, so there should be some checklist, setup parameters. The setup parameters for each product with respect to the each change part should be developed, so that when operator is running the machine, start running the machine, first operator will verify that all the steps are followed or not. for the camera challenge test. Camera setup, sorry, not challenge test, camera setup. So for setup of the camera, whether all the parameters are put are correct or not, that operator will evaluate, and then only operator will further go for the performing the challenge test. So this is called a motion step. So these are the three steps. This way, this will help to to avoid the errors in the further operation. You got my point? Simple language I explain you with the example. Okay, hope everyone is clear with this example. And the second is the regulatory function. So basically regulatory functions focus on two aspects, preventive and detection. So what does it mean? It's simple thing. Okay, it is not much thing. So first what we do, I give some example about how the three stages are helpful. And with respect to the functionality, three types of functionality will help to to able to identify the problem. So first is a shutdown. For example, if any wrong thing is there, immediately it should be stopped. That's it. For example, a given example is given here, that if there is a mistake and all, immediately the camera will get shut off. So that you will come to know that, hey, some machine gets stopped or camera is shut down, that means there is some problem. That way, there should be the controls with respect to the functionality. Or control. Control means what? Example is given that errors are impossible, where there is no possibility of error. In that case, you need to perform that control mechanism functionality during the routine operation, and that we call it as a challenge test. Because we know that camera we are installing, I am giving the same example so that you will understand in a better way. You know that camera we are installing and it is able to detect the empty pocket. So this is a control mechanism, and that empty pocket will be rejected. Correct? So these errors are impossible. So then in that case, when what we will do, we will perform the challenge test so that we will come to know that whether we are able to control or not. And third is what? Sometime this controlling may not be there, or machine may also not uh, stop, but at least the machine should give alarm. So you can see, so that alarm is called a warning. Okay, so that alarm is called a warning. So basically, you when you are you see any mass production machine, maybe compression machine or filling machine, or in injectable some liquid filling line, or you see any blister packing machine for tablet. You see any type of machine, you will come to know that it will be the combination of all these three. What are the three? The threes are shutdown, control, and warning. Means there will be some aspects or some operations that machine will get shut down. For example, if some by mistake some body part get trapped, immediately machine will get shut down, stop, so that further damage will not be there to the person. Control. If some wrong product or wrong dimension or some wrong thing happen in the routine operation, it will immediately control and it will be rejected. Sometime what happen, machine may not shut down, machine may not control, but yes, it will have the warning. So if you see any type of machine, you will come to know that on the top of the machine there will be some light. Green light means normal functioning, red means warning. So some parameters or some measures are evaluated through the warning stage, so that people will get warned, yes, this is the problem is happening. Sometimes if it is a critical type of things, then machine will get stopped. That's it, machine will get stopped. There are a lot of tablet inspection machines are there today nowadays. So if you see the tablet inspection machine, you know, if there are suppose a broken tablet or some defects with respect to the tablet in that machine, you will come to know, no, that there will be the control mechanism that and warning that this tablet is this with the this defect and all, and there will be the warning mechanism. But if you challenge that with the wrong tablet, so wrong tablet, definitely it will be the critical, wrong embossing or wrong color tablet, different color tablet as a challenge test. So it will be very serious. Immediately the inspection machine will stop there itself, and along with that stopping or shutdown, it will show the warning as well as the mechanism that yes, here is the, at this location there is the wrong tablet. So basically the functions controlling this regulatory wording is given here. So regulatory is not with respect to the regulatory authority. The terminology of regulatory is different in the under Poka-Yoke, but as they have the same wording, I thought that I will put the same wording. So don't get confused here, the wording with respect to the regulatory. The wording of regulatory means how to regulate the errors. So by shutdown, so machine should get shut down, or it should able to control, or it should give warning, at least it should give warning. So that way you can control the error, so that it will be visible to all of you. Hope you got my point. So this way, you can put the controls in the your routine production operations. So what is the process of Poka-Yoke now? Process of Poka-Yoke is very simple. It is nothing but your normal investigation process. Okay. But here one point I like it, and that point is, just there will be some couple of seconds, but I will discuss with you. There are some, I like this point. See, when there is a problem, what happened? You identify the problem, correct? Then you identify the root cause, then you identify the corrective actions, and then you verify whether the problem is solved or not. This is normal follow-up, correct? Same thing is for another Poka-Yoke. Same thing. But one important aspect in Poka-Yoke is priority. What did focus here? The second step is priority, because this is very, very important. Now you will say that if any problem is there and you identify the root cause, then whether you are going to prioritize these things? No. See, the point is, when you identify the problem, okay, then what happened? When you identify the problem, you have to identify, you have to decide the priorities basically. Because what happened? Let us take the example of, suppose, the serious thing about the recall. Okay, now recall, or maybe some serious observation is there. So what happened? There will be lot of problems will be identified when you investigate that why this problem happened in the company. Sorry, not in the company. Then what happened? You will come to know a lot of points. Due to this problem happen in the company, due to this problem happen in the company, or so many problems you identify if suppose the company got the warning letter or the import alert. Okay, so you have to prioritize this problem first, where you need to put the focus on immediate basis. That is what the important thing. First of all, very clear. This is what the very good thing explained here in the Poka-Yoke. You're getting my point, what I'm telling? Because when we discuss about the some big problem and we started working on the all problem, then what happened? We may start work on the small problem, but the major or the some big problems we may skip. That is what the risk here. So when we are implementing the Kapa, when we are putting the Kapa, so when we identify the problem, we have to prioritize first. that where we need to put focus first, and there you need to take first action. You are getting my point? So the second point I really like from the Poka-Yoke principle, that you need to prioritize the actions. Okay, now, so you got my point. Simple thing is there. All the 1 2 3 4 5 6 steps you are aware about that. Only second step was important to discuss. So I thought to discuss with you all people. So what are the benefits of Poka-Yoke? There are lot of benefits of a Poka-Yoke. Lot of benefits are there. Okay. The very important, the basic benefit is it reduces the waste. Reduces the waste, because let us take the example of the blister packing machine only. So if there is some the error, maybe suppose the some other like a you know um, temperature is not within the limit, or the any problem with respect to sealing and all, so it will immediately give the alarm. So people will come to know ki, yes, wait, stop the machine, otherwise the foil and PVC will go on packing the things. So automatically it will go on increasing the waste of the foil and PVC. So here it will help to reduce the waste. Second, it helps to improve the safety. How? So there will be the guards to the machine. If you open the guard, machine will not run. Correct? So this is again the control, safety control. Machine will not run. So while running also, while machine is running, and if you open the guard, machine will shut down, stop. So this way improve the safety. Reduce the training time. So as there are lot of automatic controls are there, so your training time also get reduced. Higher productivity. Your productivity with respect to all the operations will be increased. It will eliminate many inspection operations. So as you have like a camera systems, and the camera is checking all the tablets, rejected tablets are removed immediately. So then definitely it will eliminate the manual inspection operation, because you have the automatic controls and all. So that will be the helpful to all of you. And of course it will promote the culture of continuous improvement. So of course due to this all, the people will be valued with respect to the continuous improvement culture. So what are the benefits? It will reduce the waste. Second, improve the safety operations. So I give the example that if your machine is running, and if you open the uh, guards, automatically machine will stop. So that way it will improve the safety. Then so this all I discuss with you. Then I discuss about a reduced training time, because everything will be in the PLC, and if any error is there, immediately it will alert. So the everything will the operator need not be dependent completely on the training, because the operator will have the ready reference, ready reckoner there, that this problem happened, then automatically this warning will be there. This problem happens, then automatically machine will stop. If this problem happen, then automatically it will be displayed that this problem happened. So operator will be assured that okay, that the defect if generated, it will not go further. So it will reduce the training time. Higher productivity, definitely the productivity will be increased. It will eliminate many inspection operations. And finally what I was discussing, that is promoting the culture of continuous improvement. So these are some benefits of the Poka-Yoke. And let us discuss about some examples of a Poka-Yoke. So what I did here, oh, it's a 9 o'clock. Please bear with me. There are only 10 to 15 minutes will be there. I will take more. Okay. 10 to 15 minutes, because I thought there was delay during the discussion and all. Uh, and displaying the slide, there will be delay. So please bear with me. So what I plan, while discussing about the Poka-Yoke, I took some simple examples to make you aware about the concept, which are the general examples. And then after that, I took some examples of a pharma. That's it. Okay. So what are the Poka-Yoke examples? So let us discuss about the actual examples. What is the meaning of a Poka-Yoke? So it's basically lock and key. So if there is a particular lock, it will be open with the specific key only. It will not be opened by the multiple keys. So that way, mistake proof. So if you put the lock, then it will be opened by the only one key. So that way is the mistake proof. So nobody will able to open the lock. So this is the way the you can implement the Poka-Yoke. Simple thing I'm explaining. Some example I have put here about the socket and the pin. So the if it is a normal socket, the any pin can be put in the socket, but if it is a specific different socket with a different pin configuration, then only the correct pin only will be put in the socket. So uh, that can be used in the manufacturing areas. This general example I have taken with respect to the things. Now the second general example is with respect to in the hotel room. So in the hotel room, what happened? uh, you know uh, you need to put off the power when you are going outside the room. Correct? Yes or no? But are you go but practically this is not practically followed. This is practically not getting followed. So then what happened? The room keys are designed in such a way, that the keys are put in the holder, and if you remove the key from the holder, automatically it will be lights will be power off. So that way it can be used. The next example is, don't worry about that, these all pictures are there and that will be visible to all of you after 10-15 seconds. Today I think there is more delay. I don't know what is the problem today, but don't worry about that. You will get all the thoughts very clear. Second is with respect to the now the mobile, this one, SIM slot. So what happened? There will be lot of slots will be there, but seam will be only put in the particular slot. So that only particular length is given where only you will able to put the the SIM card. So that also is a example you say as a Poka-Yoke, so that nothing can be put in that wrongly. Okay. Even you can see the different different color coding of a different cables, so that you can avoid the errors. So similar example is for similar way it is followed in the API. So here I have taken the example of a different color cables where you can put in the different sockets. Okay. So the point is, in API also, when you are having a different solvent tanks, and different solvent tanks have a different pipes. So these pipes, different pipes, of course, the pipes will be dedicated for particular solvent. Correct? So they also have the same type of different color coding, so that to avoid the mix up of the pipes and leading to the cross contamination. So to avoid the cross contamination, if you color code the pipes, then it will be easy to understand for the operator and to avoid the error in future. So this type of examples are there. The next example I have taken is like in a Gmail. When you are writing the email, an email in the Google Mail, and if you forgot to put the subject, it will give alert that this is pending, still do you want to send the email. So if you write the email but you forgot to write the subject and you click the send, it will give you the alert, do you want to send. So that means what? It is automatically controlled. So you need not bother about your memory key. Okay, I need to put the subject always. Sometimes if you forget also, don't worry. It will alert you. It will give the warning. You got my point? So these are some automatic controls are there where you should, where your thought, you need not worry about the problems there, because problem will be rectified immediately. Don't worry about that. The next example is household appliances like microwaves, washing machines. If the door is open, it will not work. Same way in our pharma companies also, a compression machine is running on. If you open the guard, it will be stopped. Or in a blending machine, suppose blending is going on, and if you open the barricade, blending will stop immediately there. Or if packing is going on, and if you open the guard of the machine will stop. So automatically it will stop. So this type of control are there in the, you can say, the different machines. Like, so another example is the lift. So uh, if somebody is entering in the lift and the door is getting closed, but as there is a sensor, automatically again the door will be open if some obstacle is there. Correct? So it will avoid, uh, it will protect the persons from getting some hazard. So it is, the mistake proof. Mistake proof means no need to put somebody there that the person should not get hazard and all. It is mistake proof that somebody is entering, somebody is going from the lift or entering in the lift. The person will not cause any damage or not have any accident, because there is a mistake proof action that is called the Poka-Yoke. Mistake proof action. Similar way, in RMG also, rapid mixer granulator, you know, there is a metal detector is there, metal detection sensor. So if somebody is putting the hand inside, of course with the gloves, the mixer will not run. But when the door is closed, automatically the metal will get detected, and then only it will get start working. So you got my point. So when some door is closed, then only it will start working. If door is open, it will stop. That way is also the controls are there. In car also, you may be aware that if any door is open, it will there will be display that some door is open, so that uh, it can protect the potential accident or harm. Correct? Don't worry, slides will be visible to all of you. Okay, don't worry about that. This is what the very important thing is, the checklist. When the pilot is running the start preparation for taking the flight, and before takeoff, pilot will check all the set parameters whether everything is working well or not, and there is a checklist. The checklist is filled. Similar way, I always request all companies, all the people, that you need to have a machine setup points or machine setup parameters that has to be verified whether everything is as per the approved setup parameters or not, and then only the machine should start. So this is some examples of a Poka-Yoke, where these are some general examples. Okay, again this is a general example. I took it from one of the picture during the COVID situation. um, there was people used to recommend that don't sit nearby or don't come close to each other. Correct? Because the COVID was a contagious disease. Correct? So what happened, most of the people used to write the instruction that please maintain the social distancing, or maintain the distance from between the each other and all. But instead of that, if you maintain this type of a table, then automatically the distancing will be ensured. Now in airport, I have seen that, suppose there are the chairs are there, so every alternate chair there, they used to put the X mark, so that the person should not sit on that chair. But my dear friend, if X mark is there, still anybody can sit on there, right? So the purpose will not get solved. So if you put the X mark and if you thought that action is taken, that action is not a suitable or sufficient. If you want mistake proof action, you need to have this type of example, that the middle chair should be removed, so that by mistake also somebody should not sit. That is called a mistake proof action. That is called the Poka-Yoke. You got my point? Mistake proof action should be there. Not only training should be given or some marking should be there. How you can avoid the error? By mistake also person should not make an error. That is what the example just want to share here. You're getting my point? Now this example in the pharma, now development of essential pieces of CAPA plan in pharma. So the best example of the Poka-Yoke is a camera check, correct? That I discussed, so I am not discussing much here because already I shared. The second example is, whatever you are working, it will give the alert. Do you want to save? This is a default program. So if you are making any change in the word file and all, and when you close it without saving, it gives the prompt, do you want to save? Same way, nowadays most of the companies are getting using the software, so they need to have similar type of notification, that do you want to send to the for approval, or do you want to save this project, or do you want to cancel this project, do you want to edit change this project. So that type of alert should be there. Okay, hope you got my point. And final message is, very clear. Kappa will be effective if root cause identification is effective. So you need to put lot of efforts in the root cause identification, then only your Kappa will be effective. I try to explain all the things today with respect to the Kappa and all, but due to the time limitation, already 15 minutes are over. So thank you so much. I am just discussing now the questions, what questions are there, so that I will go on clearing your all doubts. Okay, please bear with me, because from somebody's questions you will learn uh, more things. Pro Gamer OP is telling that I have shared this link in my company WhatsApp group. Very good, because if you share the link to in the your WhatsApp group, then not only you are learning, but you are supporting, or your team members also can learn lot of things. Okay, good. So any questions is there? GXP training, somebody is there, that person is also sharing the link in the office group from Tison. Very good, for learning purpose. Any question now? Yeah, I think there is one question. Sasmita Bhui is asking, there is some question that in response to an observation, suppose we have taken a Kappa, and as per Kappa we have to revise the SOP. So for SOP revision, change control is required or not? Of course, change control is required. Whatever, and Mr. Satish Kumar has even replied also that without change control not accepted. Very good, Mr. Satish Kumar. Thank you for replying. Whatever you are changing, you need to have a change control. Susmita Bhoi is asking, self-reading for all the employees, fresher and experience, is acceptable in pharmaceutical for training of employees. Please clear as can it is compared to the see self-training is not accepted. Yes, in some cases can be considered as a self-training acceptation and all, but it is always expected that there should be the formal training on all the different topics. What happened when you are giving the self training only, the people will may not go through the detailed training and all, but if you conduct the training and to call all the people and all, then definitely there will be more effective training operations, because nowadays there is a requirement for training effectiveness. How the Kappa effectiveness is the concept, similar way training effectiveness is also the concept now. So that will not be effective. Okay, Satish Kumar is asking correction. Sorry, I didn't understand. Correction means, please elaborate your question. Susmita Bhoi is asking difference between correction. Acha, okay. Correction and corrective action with example. Okay. See, correction means what? If any problem happen, so to resolve that problem immediately, if some problem happened, like suppose the product is fall on the ground, suppose you have 100 kg of the material and out of 100 kg suppose 10 kg spillage is there, so immediately whatever actions you are going to take with for that particular material of that particular batch is called the correction. And corrective action means to this problem happened today, that spillage is there, right? So today this spillage is there, so you have to take some actions so that with that action you can avoid its recurrence, so that in future spillage should not be there. So whatever actions you will take it to avoid its recurrence, it is called corrective action. And correction means correcting the situation, that is called correction. Note point included in the test method for the kappa effectiveness required. Yes, kappa effectiveness is required in your procedure, right? So I think we discussed all the things with respect to the corrective actions and preventive actions, and that also by referring the Poka-Yoke and how we can take the actions with respect to the Poka-Yoke principle. One small request is, please subscribe this YouTube channel so that you will get the notifications from the free learning platform. Okay, thank you so much, and ensure all time compliance. Thank you so much. And now I am stopping this stream, so that uh, because already it is the 1 hour 20 minutes, 20 minutes are over. And if any topic if you are not clear with respect to this thing again, so please don't worry, you can go through the recorded version, you can access from the same link. Mr. Sarish Kumar, required or not? Note point included in the test method, required or I am not getting, Mr. Satish, what question is required or not means what exactly? I am not getting your question. Okay, don't worry, you put your question in the comment section. I will reply in the comment section, because this now chat will not be visible to all of you. So you put your question in the comment section, I will reply to you. Okay, so there are already 20 minutes over, so I think I need to stop this training so other people can move. Okay, so don't worry, I will resolve your doubt, Mr. Satish Kumar. So thank you so much for attending the session. Okay, and now I am ending the session, and please subscribe this YouTube channel so that you will get the notifications about the next training session. Thank you so much, and ensure all time compliance. Thank you.